What's good, SE gang? Y'all ain't seen me in a while, huh? Y'all thought I was gone. That's not the case. I'm back. But not only that, I'm back with some heat. Today, I gave in. I gave into the hype. We're going to be doing a tier list. Not only the normal tier list, we're going to be doing a SE tier list. And I believe it's the first SE tier list on YouTube. What that means is we're going to be ranking all the SE bikes from best to worst, and we're only going to be rating the SE bikes against each other. We're going to try our best not to compare them against Haro, Throne, and GT bikes, and all these other competitors that I got. We're just going to be simply rating them from best to worst. Our tier list is going to consist of S, A, B, C, and D. The only bikes we are not going to be rating are the race series, because to be honest with you, I don't race. I've never even been on a race bike, and I really don't pay much attention to those, and I don't really care about them too much. So, and as well, I think this list is going to help qualify a bunch of confusion. I know I'm confused on a couple of bikes between the parts on them. If it's really better to get this bike versus the other bike, like the HD versions of it, like are the upgrades really worth it? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're just going to get right into it, man. The first bike on the list is the Beast Mode. And I think this is a great bike to start the list on. It's one of my favorites. This year in 2022, we got the all gold Beast Mode. Last year, we got the Marshawn Lynch Money Beast Mode. The gold one is a Marshawn Lynch bike too. Apparently he's still on the team. I'm glad to hear that for sure. He's one of my favorite football players, man. So on the Beast Mode bike, it looks like we have a normal sprocket set, a normal freewheel that comes with the rest of the bikes, I believe. We got the 27.5 wheels with the nice sized tires on it. I love the setup of this bike, man. We got the front and rear disc brakes. Got some padding on there, nice seat on there, man. To be honest with you, there's nothing I dislike about the Beast Modes, man. This is really one of my favorite bikes that SE offers. I had the Money Lynch, but I sold it. I regret it. That bike was cool as hell. Now those bikes are going for like $3,500 on eBay now, the Money Lynches, and they were sitting in a bunch of shops at one point in time. Nobody really wanted him. But like I said, he was my favorite football player, but that has no suggestions in way of where I put this bike at. And to be honest with you, for the first bike is going to start the list quite well. I'm going to put it into the A class. I think it's deserving of that. Well deserving of that. I do think it's better than a lot of the bikes that SE has to offer. Just the stance of it and what it comes with. It is priced at $1,099, so it is not the cheapest bike that's on the list. So with that price, it should be a little bit higher on the tier list. Next bike, what we got is the big Flyer 29, and in this picture, they're advertising it in the candy cane stripe version, which I think y'all heard me talk about this this dip in the last video. I think it's not the best. It also comes in the camos, which look great. This is the light blue camo. It also comes in. We got it in the blue camo and the pink. We've talked about the colors in the past. We've already talked about the colors. So big Flyer 29. It's got your normal brakes, the rear brakes in the rear. Comes with pegs, no padding. Comes with your Honkum SE bars, chromo forks. None of these bikes really are full chromo from SE, and a lot of these bikes are not going to be 100% chromoly. Most of the SE's bikes just come chromoly with their forks and their handlebars and maybe cranks. What I do notice that from the Big Flyer is not a part of their retro series. The Big Flyer is a part of their Bike Life series, and it has plastic pegs on it. And I think it just comes with a little less quality parts on it than a Big Ripper does. And there's nothing wrong with the Big Flyer, but I'm going to put it in the B class. I'm going to put it in the B class, or possibly, yeah, no. I'm going to put the Big Flyer 29 in the B class for sure. And it comes in at a price of $800, when I believe the Big Ripper is at $8 something or $900. So it's $100 cheaper. It's cool. So on to the next. I feel a bunch of y'all have big flyers. A lot of people do. And next is what I'm talking about when it comes to if it's worth it upgrading the parts onto it. And we have, what I'm talking about is the Big Flyer HD29. I see that the Big Flyer HD is supposed to be an upgraded version from your average Big Flyer. I think the colorway of this bike looks great. And I also believe this is the first year that they're doing an HD version of the Big Flyer. This looks to me that all it has, the Big Flyer HD, all it has is back disc brakes and front disc brakes, where the normal Big Flyer just comes with the clamp disc brakes. I forget what they're called sometimes, just the rear disc brakes, and that's it. No padding, and it doesn't have any type of gearing on it. So, and it doesn't look like it has any type of special sprocket on it. It looks like it has a standard sprocket on it, but it does have metal pedals. As I said before, the normal Big Flyers just have plastic pedals, and it comes with pegs, which the other one does. So I'm not sure. So for what, $50 more, I think you get disc brakes and metal pedals. And I believe that's the only thing different between the normal Big Flyer and the Big Flyer HD. Please comment if you think so. This is definitely one of those videos I'm gonna need y'all commenting on the bottom of. This is definitely a community type video, because I'm sure people have questions. I got questions, and if you got it, let us know. Just try not to ask some super stupid questions, because the comments is always full of that one person. But actually, go ahead and let it rip anyways. Let's do it. Big Flyer HD, we're gonna put it in the tier list at B. We'll put it at B because it has the disc brakes. Disc brakes are nice. So normal Big Flyer came in at C. No, did it? Did I put the normal Big Flyer in at C? All right, Big Flyer's got to be at C because the Big Flyer HD is at B. So if I put the Big Flyer at C before, it's got to change. So Big Flyer is C, Big Flyer HD is B. It could possibly go to A. I don't know. We'll see. We might have to move some stuff on the list around, but that's where I'm at right now. The Big Ripper, the one and only, one that started it all, I believe. The Big Ripper, like I said, it comes in at $899, or you can get one for $1,000 for $999. And that's, of course, it comes in different colors, just depends on which one you get. The one we have here, they're advertising is the Anno Red, and man, it looks clean. Comes with your standard sprocket, I believe your standard freewheel in the back that most of the bikes come with. It also just comes with your standard rear brake, and it's the 29 bike, man. This is definitely my favorite bike, just the favorite all-around favorite bike, and I believe for most of everyone else is too. The Big Ripper is the one and only. But as much as it pains me, I got to put this bike into the B category, just because it doesn't have everything else that SE has to offer on their other bikes. Well, Matt, can you sit still, buddy? Sit. Oh boy, so hard to film sometimes, just full of distractions. My roommate's coming home, my dog. It's just hard. All right, so next on the list, we got the Big Ripper HD. Another bike that might bring up some confusion and if it's worth the extra money. So like I said, the normal Big Ripper comes in at $900, and then the Big Ripper HD comes in at $1,099. So what we have here is front and rear disc brakes. Seems like you got your standard sprocket. I'm not sure if it comes with another freewheel or what, upgraded freewheel. It seems like it's the same. You got your pads on there. That's all Big Rippers come with mostly. That's it. The HD is, like I said, supposed to have upgraded parts, but to be honest with you, it just seems like they just throw front and rear disc brakes on it and call it a wrap. So I'm going to put this bike into the A category. The normal Big Ripper was B. The Big Ripper HD is A. That only makes sense. So there you have that. Next is the Flyer 26. And it's the same thing as the Flyer 29, obviously, just with smaller tires. It's a 26. We're going to put that into the C category as well, right next to the 29 Flyer, because it's the same bike, just different wheels. They also like to play with these crazy hydro dips on those. And now we're getting to something that's a little different. We have the Broncos. The Broncos come in a 12, a 16, and a 20. And for $269 to $289, or you have $299. And the 12-inch and the 16-inch don't seem too justifiable for the price, to be honest with you. I think you could get more bang for your buck elsewhere for these bikes, considering these are little babies that are going to be using them. Not many kids are going to be able to use them to their full extent. I understand you don't want to buy cheap bikes for your children, but like I said, I think you can get a better bang for your buck. But what I do think is a good deal is the Bronco 20-inch for only $300. Not only, it's still a little pricey as well. I'm now seeing that it has single piece cranks, one piece cranks. That's not very good. That might deduct it some. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put all of the Broncos in the D list. I just believe they're a little bit too expensive. There are other bikes that you can get that are for children that come with more quality parts, even chromo parts, 3-piece cranks even. So that's where they get their points deducted at. And then we have a Flyer, the D blocks. That's just your normal Big Ripper. We're gonna just include the special editions in with the other Big Rippers, like the Vans Big Ripper, the D blocks, the Pros. We're just gonna add them in. So we're gonna skip the D blocks. Next we have the DJ Ripper. This is your dirt jumper Ripper. So this bike is $1,199. I think this bike is an all-around great bike to get started into dirt jumping, man. It is a little lighter than the Big Ripper. Actually, even though it comes with all these forks, it does not come with any gearing in it. It does have front and rear disc brakes, which is awesome. And metal pedals. Actually, I would actually rather have plastic pedals on this bike, to be honest with you. That's just me though. I know that these dirt jumping bikes get crazy expensive. They got like Santa Cruz bikes. I was at the dirt jump park when I was there the rare time. This dude had like a $9,000 or $13,000 bike. I know that's a random number, but it was crazy expensive, man. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bike into the we'll do the C category. It's either C or B. I really can't decide, but I'm not going to hype it up too much. I can't see it being next to the Big Ripper, so we'll go ahead and put it in as a C category. And next we have the everyday bike, and this seems like your standard mid-level BMX bike. Not too bad, not the best, but just your entry level. We got 3-piece cranks here. Let's see what the frame is made out of. Frame is done with a mid-bron integrated C-clamp. So I don't think this is a full chromoly bike, and it costs $579.99, man. For that price, I definitely believe everything on this bike should be full chromoly. It's a bit pricey. It's a bit pricey for sure. I know I said we're not going to compare these bikes to other bikes, but you can go get a fit dirt jumper bike, a trail bike, for about $200 to $300 brand new. It's full chromo, and it's just, I just don't think this bike is worth the money. And for that, I'm going to have to put it into for $600, I'm gonna have to put it in a D tier. They could have made the C possibly if it had a better pricing, but they're just ranking it on those boys out here for that. So it was gonna have to be the last tier. And ooh, next we got the Fast Ripper, everyone's favorite. Ain't not much to say about this bike. We all know where this bike's gonna land. We got the gearing on it, we got the rear brakes, we got the front brakes, we got the awesome paint jobs. This is the 2021 version, and we all know in 2022 we got the Mike Buff one, which looks clean as well. Not much to say about this bike. See, this bike does come with an upgraded sprocket on it, which I see. So it's just the little things, man. So this bike is instant S tier, bro. Top is tier. We got our first S tier class, boys. Got the first S tier class in there. So Fast Ripper gets dropped in at the S tier. Next bike we have is the Fat Quad. Man, you gotta love it. You gotta love what Todd Lyons is doing with these bikes. These quad bikes look absolutely awesome. I have not owned one, but I actually just bought one like a week and a half ago, and City Grounds is playing, bro. They still haven't even sent me a tracking number. I hate when people sell bikes when they do not have them. I should have got it from Dance Cop. I feel like it would have been here already. But hey, it's all good. I'll be patient. I didn't order the Fat Quad, actually. I got the Monster Quad. So we'll save that. We'll talk about that later. But the Fat Quad here is a 26-inch with huge-ass tires on it. Comes with rear and front disc brakes. Got your standard sprocket on it. Looks a little smaller, actually, with a little less teeth. Looks like your standard freewheel, I believe, and that's about it. I don't think this is a chromoly frame. No, the quad is not a chromoly frame. So I'm going to love to put this bike in at the A tier because it definitely deserves it. Man, it's kind of hard to film when your GoPro keeps dying. I swear these things are trash. It takes 3 hours to charge them and 30 minutes for them to die. Next, we have the actual Fat Ripper. And in this year, in 2022, they're bringing back the Miami colorway, which I love. And I ordered this bike too last week. It is supposed to be coming in next week. I am so excited. This bike comes standard in your front and rear disc brakes, like a lot of other bikes on this list. Not a chromoly frame, just really your standard SE retro bike series. I believe this one is part of, just with fat huge tires, and it comes in the Miami series. There's a lot of hate and a lot of iffies around this bike. Some people hate this bike, some people love these fat tire bikes. A lot of people say they're good for the beaches only. Some people say they're good for absolutely nothing. Some people love them. I think they're awesome. It's something great to have a change up on. I don't know about having it as your only bike to ride every single day. I think it could become a little annoying, but it is definitely cool to have on the side and a good switch up to get on. It's a fun looking bike. It can incorporate some new tricks into it, some new fun, some new play. I'm going to put it right next to the quad at the A tier. So a lot of people can try to argue with that, but I think the A tier is great for the Fat Quad. And this year's colorway is just nasty. It gave everybody a chance that didn't get the Miami Big Ripper a couple of years ago to get it in this. So I'm glad SE did that. Next, it shows a racing bike. We're gonna go over that. And next we are coming across another original BMX style bike, modern style day BMX bike. And it's called the Gundam. And this one is ranked up on the price at $829, but I believe it's for the better because it comes what I've been looking for, 100% chromo and all that good stuff. We got the 3-piece cranks. I don't know if it's what type of freewheel's on it, if it's a cassette freewheel, I don't know. It weighs 24.9 pounds, not the lightest BMX bike, but hey, I don't have nothing bad to say about this bike besides the price and what it comes with for the price. For this price, I believe it should come with pegs. Like I said, you can get fully chromo bikes for for about $200 cheaper, maybe over $300 cheaper. I'm not the biggest expert at this, but I know that this is still taxing. I know that they are still taxing on this bike, and I don't know if SE is taxing on it because they're SE, but I don't think actual BMXers that do real big tricks and are really actual doing tricks go look at SE bikes to buy for that. I think SE bikes are more in just the wheelie genre, but that's just me. I'm going to put this bike into the B category because it's in the middle. It's what I've been asking for, but I just think it's a little too expensive. But so I'm just gonna leave it neutral in the B category, right in the middle. And next we got the Lager. I don't know how to say this bike. This is just your street city bike, your fixed gear. These are pretty hipster-like bikes that are pretty popular in Austin, Texas, where I live. They're popular in a lot of cities. These got a lot of traction. They cost $650, which I actually don't think that's bad. I know that there are cheaper bikes that other companies make them cheaper. Obviously, I keep saying that, but it comes with front and back not disc brakes, front and back brakes. Are those 3-piece cranks? I kind of can't tell. The crank's connected to the damn sprocket in one piece, it seems. I actually haven't seen that. What? That doesn't make sense. It is. Wow. So, I don't know if you would call those 3-piece cranks or not. I don't know what type of freewheel it has on it, and I don't know what type of wheels those are. And it weighs... It doesn't even say the weight on it, and it is not. It is a high tensile frame. So I'm going to put this bike at a C. I don't think it deserves a D because it's not that bad, and it doesn't deserve to be next to the Big Ripper. It might deserve a D almost, but we're gonna give it a break and give it a C. Next on the list, we have the little Flyer 16 for $499.99. That's $500, and it's cool. It's definitely cool, man. If my kid was like tricking and stuff and learning how to wheelie, this might be a cool bike until I went to the checkout counter and had to pay for it, man. This thing has single piece cranks, 1-piece cranks. It does come with pegs. It does have a cool paint job on it, but for $500, there is for sure cheaper bikes that you can get, man. And I just couldn't see myself paying the price for this. I would give it a pass a go maybe if it came with 3-piece cranks, but it's not fair that it doesn't, and it's going straight to the D category. I'm being unfair to these little kids' bikes, y'all might say, but they gotta give the parents a break, because these kids outgrow these bikes and they really don't get used, and they're charging like they're making them out of professional grade material, and these kids are gonna be on the Mega Ramp, but that's not the case. And if they were on the Mega Ramp, there's other bikes that you could get for a cheaper other price, and they would honestly probably outperform these. Okay, we got the Maniac Flyer, man. And this is the same bike as the Block Flyer. Let me describe it first. So we got the Maniac Flyer 27.5, and it comes with front and rear disc brakes, pegs, plastic pedals, standard sprocket, standard everything else, no pads. More colors available. This year's Maniac Flyer, we got the black with the purple tires. This is the same bike as the Block's Flyer, just with crazy wheels and disc brakes. I mean, crazy tires and disc brakes. Just got fat tires on it and disc brakes. Same exact bike, and it's $899. So $900 for this bike. And this bike is pretty much I'm now going back into SE has so many bikes in their lineup that they almost are, so a lot of them are the same bikes, just with barely a different change added to them. And what I'm comparing this Maniac Flyer to is the Big Flyer HD. Like I said before, the Big Flyer HD, the only difference that it had was the front and rear disc brakes. It didn't have a better T-sprocket or anything like that. So when Todd was like, hey, let's make a big Flyer HD, he pretty much just gave us a Maniac Flyer with 29-inch wheels and tires. So I'm kind of confused. If somebody can point out a difference, that is a more detailed difference between the two bikes, I would love to hear it. Todd, if you're watching this video, let me know. Shit, somebody let me know. This bike is going to land straight into the, we'll put it next to the Big Ripper, because I believe that's where we put the Blocks Flyer HD. So that's where that bike goes. We already talked about the Fast Ripper. Next is another racing bike. Now we have the Monster Quad. This is the bike that I ordered, but the 2022 version in the Arctic White. Same thing as the Fat Quad, just not with fat tires. It has 29-inch wheels on it. It's going to go right next to the Fat Quad though, and at the A tier. Next is the Monster Ripper. Same thing as the HD Big Ripper, I believe, just with bigger tires on it. And it is priced at $1,099. So it can go right next to that bike as well into the A category, not the S category. We still only have one S category bike. So Monster Ripper, A tier. Next is the OM Enduro, guys. Man, I've actually never rode these bikes. I don't know too much about them or where they fall in the line of things, but I know that they are 100% chromo and they are not that expensive as I thought they would be. This OM Flyer is the 26, comes with peg, 3-piece crank, standard sprocket, comes with pads. I like it. I'm going to put it in the A tier. In the A tier, for sure, because the pricing is good on it and it's full chromo. So it gets a step over the 29-inch Big Ripper, actually. Even though it doesn't have front and rear disc brakes, the 26, that's actually okay. I still think it believes to go in the A tier. Next is the OM Enduro 27.5, and this is the, I just don't know where this bike falls in at, man. Like, what do you really use this OM Enduro 27.5? It has gearing on it. It's 100% chromo. So are you launching this thing off jumps? I don't know, because it doesn't have shocks on it. It just doesn't look like your standard dirt jumping bike to me. But I know they do have hardtail bikes and stuff like that for it, and it's $1,300. It is going to go into the S category, but it is very expensive. I would love to ride one. Next, we have the PK Ripper, man, and I would like some more information about this bike, because to me, the Perry Kramer PK Ripper 27.5 is another beast mode. I guess Marshawn Lynch just wanted his version of it and wanted to rename it, but I think they're the same exact bike. Somebody tell me different. And if I'm thinking they're the same bike, they're going to go in at the same category, and that is in the A tier where I put the last beast mode. We have the Ripper for $600. I believe the Ripper is a 20-inch. This is your entry-level BMX bike, I think. I don't think this thing's much use for anything, man. I think this bike's low-key garbage. And for $600, D tier. The Ripper doesn't get any love from me. Overpriced. Well, Max, stop crying. Another race bike, and then we have the Savage Flyer, man. Savage Flyer. Todd Lyons was like, you know what, guys? They were sitting in a meeting, in the SE meeting, and Todd Lyons was like, you know, I think these guys lose their shit when we throw gears on these bikes. So let's just put a gearing on every version of our bikes and sell it to see how it goes. And sure enough, he was right. People lost their shit. So we got the box Flyers just with gearing on it and disc brakes. I think they still have plastic pedals on it too. So I think this bike is going to go into the A tier. It has the gearing, it has the disc brakes. Some people would say put it into the S tier, but I would have to argue with that because I just cannot see a box Flyer sitting in the S tier. That might be kind of rude. I think might that be racist towards the box Flyer, but hey, I just don't think it's right to see it in the S tier. So, but I'll let it sit close and I'll give it the A tier. Next, we have the Socal Flyer 24. I really don't know the difference between the Socal Flyers and the box Flyers. Somebody let me know with that too. I don't know if they have Socal Flyers 26s or 29s or if they just come in the 24s. But this bike comes in at $799 and it goes up to, or it starts at $699 and it goes up to $799. I'm going to put it in the C class just because I just don't see nothing too special about it. I think they're the same thing as the blocks. So, yeah. Next, we have the PK Ripper Fluke Tail, the super old school retro. And this bike is badass. I just think it's completely badass. This is one of those bikes that you leave on your freaking dining room table and just look at it. This year we got the Vans editions at $1,050. This bike is just a classic. I can't really hate on it. I'm gonna put it into the next to the Big Ripper on the B tier. Then we have the Wild Man at $499 and Todd Lyons himself. I think this is actually his bike. And I hate to do it to you, Todd. This bike looks better than the Ripper. I really don't know the difference. It looks like it comes with a better sprocket on it. It looks like it's a little more actually tougher and more capable of doing tricks. But at the same time, okay, we got 3-piece cranks. That's cool. So this is like the middle between the Gundam and the Ripper. We have the Wild Man sitting in the middle. It's the same price as the Ripper, I think, though, which confuses me. But it looks like it's a little bit more quality. Somebody help me out with that, please. Somebody, please. I'm not going to do this one so dirty. Actually, I think I might have to do it dirty. I don't know. Because I like you, Todd, I'll let you slide to the C. If you weren't Todd Lyons, you'd be in the D class. That bike would be in the D. So, we got one more bike that's not on SE's website officially yet. And that is the Arctic White Monster Quad that I bought. Or not the Monster Quad. And I didn't buy this bike. This is the Killer Quad that is coming out. Don't have many pictures of it. It's going to be a quad, all chrome with purple. Pretty much the same thing as the quad this year, just with chrome and with gearings on it. So you already know that bike has got to go into the S tier. If the normal quad made it at the A tier, the Killer Quad's got to be S tier. So that concludes our list. We made it through. I don't know how long that was. I hope y'all had something with y'all to keep y'all company. It was a long video. I should have told y'all to bring a tech deck, bring an action figure, grab a beer or something to post up. But y'all made it towards the end. I appreciate y'all checking me out, man. Shout out to all y'all dudes that are showing me love. Jack Black always got positive stuff to say, man. I hope you're doing all right. I will be having more content. I just moved to new locations. I'm downtown now. I actually just went to Trade the Truce ride out a couple of days ago. That shit was crazy. Like 2,000 people ride out. I gotta finish editing the videos for that. I'm gonna post it, but it's late. I got a headache, believe it or not, and I'm just gonna get out of here. That's a wrap on the video, man. Y'all safe out here. All my jiggers and jigginites, man, for real. Be safe out there. Peace.